Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing a viewer request for Crafter's Square doing this dinosaur. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm doing a viewer request. As you know, I previously have completed the Crafter Square crochet kits for the teddy bear, the puppy, and the mouse. And today we're going to try this really cute dinosaur. So in this kit, like any other kit that I've been doing, it includes the plastic needle, some yarn, stuffing, a crochet hook, plastic beads, and instruction sheet. So let's open this up and see what we got here. We have the instruction sheet. It's the same typical instructions that we've been doing, but I will be going over all of these again for any of the new viewers, and then some more of basic stitching, and then we get on to the building the pieces of the body and the assembly. So this also comes with the needle, and it's a basic crocheting hook needle. It doesn't say what size it is, but I don't think I even have in the last video I compared it to one of my needles that I use all the time, but this is pretty small, so for beginners it might be a little harder because the stitching ends up becoming a little tighter. But as we learned in the previous videos, you will have to do tight stitching in order to use up this yarn and not waste it, because they give you really the exact amount of what you need for tight stitching. So it also comes with the yellow yarn here. And this will be for the patches on the dinosaur, so there isn't much. And then lastly, well, not lastly, actually, it comes with the needle so that you can mark off where you left off. And then it comes with the eyes. And like I said in my previous videos, there are choking hazard pieces, small parts not for children under 3 years old, and because I intend on giving this to an infant, I'm going to be not using the eyes. I'm just going to sew it on with my own black yarn. And then it also comes with the stuffing, and this time compared to the mouse, this is a lot less stuffing, so hopefully we'll have enough stuffing, but the stuffing is super soft and bouncy, so I like that. Okay, so then let's start off by teaching you some of these, some of the stitches, the basic stitching, so that when it comes to time you'll be able to figure stuff out. So let us learn how to cast on some stitching onto a hook. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do the chain stitch, single crochet stitch, and then on the other side I'll teach you how to do the increasing stitch and decreasing stitch. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is take your ring finger and pinky finger with your thumb and pinch it there, and then you're going to take your index and your middle finger and about 1 inch away hold it like this. Then you are going to hold your crocheting needle like you would normally hold it and put it perpendicular to the yarn, and then what we're going to do is you're going to go down, up and around, so that you have a little loose loop on your needle. And then what we're going to do is, I'm just going to let go of this. Just hold it in place. You see where these two are crossing now? The idea is we're going to yarn over and pull a loop through this. But just so that we don't have too much excess yarn, like I like to tuck away my yarn. I don't like to have extra just flapping around. So what you're going to want to do is pinch the end of this yarn here really tight, and then you want to kind of direct the loop close to your pinch there. So you see that it's crossing still, but it's closer to the end. So now you just want to pinch that intersection, pinch it together so that you keep that loop intact there. And if you can, try to yarn over and pull that loop through this one. And we've created our first chain. So then you're going to want to take this end piece, pinch it very tight, don't let go. You're going to want to move this knot. We've created a knot by doing what we did. Push it down towards that end. Push it as close as you can. Keep pushing till you tighten that knot. I'm just going to pull this side so that, you know, there's not too much slack on this hook here. And I'm going to continue pushing till it's tight. And keep repeating this until you get the knot to be like you can't push it any longer. Okay? And just to make sure, I am going to pull this end, just to make sure it's nice and tight. Now what you're going to want to do is hold on to that knot, pull the yarn close to the needle, the crochet hook, but not too close, so you have some space in here to move around. And that's how you make your first stitch to start off casting on chains. And this is basic for a lot of projects that you'll end up doing. Sometimes there's different ways, like this is going to be different, but this is just for when we switch colors out, because this is how I do it when I switch colors. Okay, so just so that I can teach you how to do these, we're just going to keep this for now, and I'm going to teach you how to do the chain stitch. So what we're going to do is, I like to hold this knot, I like to hold it down because I feel like I have more control, like it'll slide if you don't hold it. So I'm going to hold it here. What you're going to want to do is yarn over. That was pretty easy. Yarn over, pull it through that loop, and you created your first chain. It looks like a braid. Okay, now let's just do this again. Yarn over, and again I like to pull this end a little taut so I have control over it. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and now we have two chains. One more time. Yarn over, pull it a little taut, and then pull through the loop. Now we have 3 chains. So I'm just going to randomly do this a few more times. You can do that as well. Just enough to where you think you have the rhythm. Once you, I would sit there and keep practicing making chains all day. Just keep practicing making chains, because you'll notice over time that your chains are going to end up nice and even. When you start out, they're going to look, some are going to look long, some are going to look short, but with practice, you'll be able to make them nice and even. So if you notice this pretty side here that looks like braiding, this is called the right side. And then if you flip it over, this is called the wrong side, because it looks not as pretty. Okay. If you ever are counting chains and you want to go back, the great thing about crocheting is, and this takes a little concentration, but you can remove your needle, and then what you can do is gently pull the loops out. And this is always devastating to undo work, but sometimes it happens. And slowly pull one chain out from each other, one at a time, and that's how you undo it. And then let's say that's it, I don't want to pull anymore. You still have this loop here. Okay, you can always stick your hook back in and then start over. Yarn over, pulls up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. So that's the forgiving part of crocheting, which makes this craft such a great and easy one to do. I mean, easy once you get it, but because if you ever mess up, you can always undo it. If you want to scrap the project, I've done this a million times, unravel the whole thing and put the yarn back up in a ball. Okay, so that was the chain stitch. Now we're going to do the single crochet stitch. So single crochet stitches need one chain to reach the level, the height of the stitch. So what we're going to do here is the second chain from the hook, we are going to stick our needle in. So we're on this right side here, we're going to skip this one, and then we're going to put our needle in this one. But the way that I like to do it, because I like to keep this beautiful braided look the way it is, I like to stick it in from the wrong side. Like I mentioned before, there's the right side, which is the pretty side, and then the wrong side, which is not so pretty side. And you'll see this in all of the instructions if they mention right side and wrong side. So again, when you single crochet from a chain, you always want to do it second chain from the hook. So we've got one, move it closer, we have one, then we have two. I'm going to just twist this to the wrong side. You see that little hump? That's where I'm going to stick it in. This little hump here. Okay. Just the one loop. Make sure you just go through the one loop. Alright. Now we're going to follow the instructions for single crochet. You yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have two. Then you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop through both, and we just made our first single crochet stitch. This is the actual stitch, and this little bendy, not looking so good thing is the one chain that we need to make the height of the crochet. And I say this, and I didn't say it in my previous videos, because when we do these instructions, you're gonna see, you're gonna wonder, oh, why do I see an extra chain? Well, that's the chain that we use to get up there. So let's do several more single crochet stitches. So again, in the next stitch, which is this one right here on the right side, I'm going to stick the needle on the wrong side, just that one loop, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and pull up through two loops. And now we have two single crochet stitches. We have the 1, 2, and we have that little yucky looking chain that we needed to get up there. Let's do another one. In the next stitch, and you can clearly see it now that we're doing this. Here's the next stitch, here's the back of it. Put it through the loop, the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through two loops, and now we have 3. So I'm going to just do this, like, let's say 2 more times, and then I'm going to teach you the increasing and decreasing stitch. So as I'm talking, I didn't put it through the whole thing. In the beginning, when you're learning, you have a tendency to not put the needle through the whole yarn, like you kind of break it, and you can tell because this little fiber here is on the outside. Sometimes we'll be like, whatever, but I like to take it off and start over again because you want to make sure that you get all of that yarn around that hook because it's nice and clean. And when you unravel it, it'll be easier. Because if it gets caught in between the yarn, it just gets hard sometimes to pull it easily. So yarn over again. Let's do one more. Okay. Alright, and I just wanted to do just get some practice. Again, over time, your stitching will end up looking nice and even. In the beginning, you're going to see like big, small, long, short, and that's okay. That's happened to me learning, and you know, you just over time, it gets better. So now we're going to do the increasing stitch. And all it is we did our single crochet. So basically we're going to do another single crochet in the same stitch. So in this same stitch, and I'm going to open it. You can see, you see me pulling it. I'm going to put my hook into that same stitch. Okay. Yarn over. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops, and we just made an increasing stitch. And you can kind of see it. See that one stitch that we used here? You can see it got bigger compared to the one next to it, and that's because we have 1 and 2. Here's that 1 stitch, here's 2 stitches. Let's do that again. So in the next stitch, we're going to put our hook in here. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2. That's 1. We're going to do it again in the same stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops. As you do this, you'll notice that now your straight row is bending, because we increased it by 2 and it wants to curve naturally. So if you see this and you didn't intend to increase it, then you accidentally put extra stitches and you can unravel it and do it over. But if this is what you meant to do and it looks like this, then you did it right. So that was the increasing stitch. Now let me just let me do 1 single crochet stitch just to level it out, stop it from turning. Okay, so we got that look. It's pretty much making a 90-degree. That's funny. Okay, so now we have our remaining stitches here. I'm going to do 2 decreasing stitches. And this is kind of simple too. It may be complicated looking, but it really is easy. So what we're going to do is I am going to stick my needle or hook back into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then I'm going to stick it into the next stitch over. See that here, the next stitch over? I'm going to put my hook through the stitch, yarn over. Now I have 3, right? Yarn over once more and draw through all 3 stitches. So we made a single crochet stitch, but we used 2 stitches to do that, and that is a decreasing stitch. Let's do it one more time, you guys. So as you see on my chain here, I have 2 stitches left. We're going to use them up to do this decreasing stitch. So like I said again, take your hook, put it into the next stitch on the wrong side, yarn over, pull up a loop, then we're going to go to the next stitch over and put the hook through that wrong side, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3, so we're going to yarn over and draw through all 3 loops, and we just created 2 decreasing stitches. Now when we did an increase, it bent this way. If we decrease it, it's going to bend upwards. So if you see this happening and it's supposed to be straight, you might want to undo it. But that's hard. It's harder to accidentally do a decreasing stitch than it is to do an increasing stitch. But if you meant to do that and you see it curling up, then you did it right. And you can tell here too. See how the stitches on top kind of stretch farther than the stitches down below. So that's how you know you did it right. And that, you guys, is the basic stitches. So now I can show you how to start off each piece. Like in all of these kits that I've been doing are pretty the same. It starts off as discs, like these circular pieces. So the way that they have it set up is that you do a ring that's that you can decrease in size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my yarn, and what it's telling you in step 1 is to just yarn over your finger twice. I like to have the little bit of excess right over your finger so that you can use your ring finger, or I mean your middle finger, and just hold it there, right? And then I'm gonna, step 2 shows you how you can hold it. You can hold it like this, which is how I prefer to hold it, or you can hold it like this, which is kind of, sometimes when I'm doing tight stitching I'll do that, but it's a little weird for me, but either way you can do it. So then it's telling me in step 3 to put the hook in under each of these 3 loops. Okay, and then it's also telling me that to get to step 4 you have to take this last piece here on this side and use the hook to pull it through the other 2 loops. So we have this situation here. Now for step 5, it's telling you to create a chain. So you just yarn over and you pull up a loop through that, and you created your adjustable ring. You can take this off your finger. So this is how we're going to start every single step here. We have the crochet head, crochet body, crochet tail, we have the crochet legs, the crochet hand, and the crochet spots. So for this first part here, crochet head, we have to have 6 stitches, and luckily enough this basic instruction that's on every single kit starts with the 6 stitches, so this is gonna work. I know one of these pieces starts with 8, and that's where we change it up, but otherwise everything starts with 6, 6, 6, 6, and 6. Okay. So now to go on to step 6, this part here through this part here, step 6 through 9 is single crochet, basically. So let's do that. Step 6, put your hook in this huge loop. Step 7, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we have 2. Step 8, yarn over again and pull through 2 loops, and that's 1 single crochet stitch, and that's where we are here on step 9. And then for step 10 it says repeat the short stitch steps 6, 7, 8 for 5 times to form the 6th short stitch. It's so funny how inconsistent they are. So short stitch is basically the single crochet stitch. They should have just said that. But anyway, so we did 1. Now I'm going to show you guys to do 5 more. Again, it seems like they want you to do tight stitching, so I'm going to try to do this tightly, which will compromise this video because you can see my stitch here, but if you go tighter, it's really harder to see the stitching. So let's do 5 more. Stick it through the huge chain here, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through 2. We just made 2 now. See? 1, 2. And that disgusting one here. Oh my gosh, hold on. That was my alarm. Okay, let me just finish this ring. Again, stick it through the large chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and we made 3 stitches. You can see 1, 2, 3, and then like I said before, there's going to be a little ugly one. That was the chain to get up there. Okay, let's do 3 more. Stick your hook through the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop again, go through both loops. Okay, we have 4 stitches now. Let's do 2 more. One, and then 2. So now we have 6 stitches, and just to make sure, count from the hook. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now that we know we have 6, this little piece here, you're going to want to pull. And you want to pull this till it's tight, tight, tight. Shimmy over these. It's supposed to be a ring. So shift your stitching, and sometimes you won't be able to pull everything through, but that's okay. We can tuck that away. Sometimes you can't. Oh, I think I got it. Sometimes you just need to have some pulling. I don't like to pull it too much because you might rip it. So if you find that happening, don't go too crazy. But I managed to pull all of it through, so that's good. Now, just to make sure again, because now we're going to do step 11. Put the hook through the loop in the direction of the arrow. This is actually what we call a slip stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop through this loop and the one on your hook. Yeah, that's a slip stitch. So let's count backwards. 6 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6th stitch. You want to put the hook through both of them now. Before I had it, you do it on the wrong side. That's because we did something completely different. But we're on top of a row. So now we have technically two loops to pull it through. So stick your needle through those 2. You want to yarn over, and you're going to pull that through 1, 2, 3. So let's yarn over and pull up this loop, and we closed that circle. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your needle that they provided for us, and you want to find a different color. If you have to use the yarn they give you, like the yellow one, then by all means, but I would try not to do that, because they only give you enough yarn for to make the project. So I would take another color yarn if you have it. This one that I have here, and I'm going to sew this piece here right where this is the last stitch we made, slip stitch. So you're going to want to pull one end of that yarn to the other side. So it's going to act as our marker so that we know where the last stitch is on this ring. And it's important because we get lost sometimes. In order to make a nice clear row on top of row, the way that this has it, if you don't put a marker there and you just keep going, you're gonna have a spiral. And this isn't a spiral, it looks like each individual ring. Okay, so now that we have this ring piece here with the 6 stitches, we're gonna move on to the second row, and it says 12. So the idea is that we just doubled our stitches from 6 to 12. So what does that mean? We have to do the increasing stitch, and to get from 6 stitches to 12 stitches, we're going to increase stitch every stitch that we do. So if you double 6, we'll end up getting 12. So I have to feed my cat. So when I come back, I'll show you how to do row 2. So let's continue on to row 2, and let's do 6 stitches, but we're going to do the increasing stitch every stitch, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay. We're going to chain 1. Anytime you start a new single crochet row, you need to chain 1. And it's not going to count towards your stitches. It's just to get the height of your single crochet row. Okay. So now we can start our single crochet. So let me explain this a little bit. Because we had joint or slip stitch the stitches together to complete the row, you're going to think, oh, the next stitch is this one. It's not, because we slip stitched it to that stitch. So the next stitch would be the one next to it. And you can kind of tell, if you kind of pull these up a little bit, you can see that these two here want to join, because that's where we join them. So I hope that you're able to see that, and I hope that the way that I'm explaining it is helpful. But yeah, so our first official stitch is the one next to it. So I'm going to stick the needle in there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's 1 stitch. To do the increasing stitch, like I showed you before, we're going to stick the hook back into the same stitch that we just did. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, and draw through 2. So now this first stitch that we used, it now has 2 stitches. You can see it clearly. This group here, this group here. So we have 2 stitches, and we have to do this 5 more times, which will make our 12 stitches. And to double check, we'll always count back to, we'll always count back to make sure that we have the right amount of stitch work. So let's go on to the next stitch and let's do a single crochet and then an increasing stitch. Stick the hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops, then increasing stitch, stick it into that same stitch you used, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So now we have 4. Okay, and we're going to continue doing this until we get 12 in total. So next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then in the same stitch put the hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 6, halfway there. Okay, and see, you guys, just to check, we have 3 stitches left, 1, 2, 3, so we're right where we need to be. Let's do our single crochet. Stick it into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up through 2 loops. Now we're going to do the increasing stitch, stick it into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have 8, 4 more to go. So let's put the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then again in the same stitch you put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now we got 10. 1 more, and that's where this marker is. So we're going to put the hook into that stitch, and I'm going to remove the marker. We don't need that there anymore. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we're going to do the increasing stitch 1 more time. Stick it into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 12. And then just make sure that you have 12 before we do the slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And again, you're going to think that this one that's kind of laying flat is 1, but that is the chain that we did. So it's always the one next to it. And you always know that by counting back the number of stitches you're supposed to have. That's the one you put your hook in. So we're gonna yarn over and pull through all the loops, and we created our slip stitch. So now before we continue and move on, let's go ahead and put this marker back in. So I'm going to go back to that stitch we just made, put the needle through there, and then pull one side all the way through. We have our marker. So now we're able to move on to the 3rd row. So you guys, this is going to be pretty much repetitive with the increasing, and I'll slow down if there is a decreasing one, but since our 3rd row consists of 18, we are increasing. I will show you where they want you to increase it, but just slowing down to do the increasing stitch. I don't think at this point we have to, but you can always play back if you're still having difficulty doing the increasing stitch. So what I found in the previous instructions is that when there's an increase, these pictures here show you when you increase and when you decrease by using these little arrows. And it's so silly because it's like, how do you know which way is the arrow pointing? Because it's in a circle. So just by assumption, if we are increasing row 3 by 6 stitches, so let's go to row 3. The first one there actually has a caret, and let me just have a zoom in on this because it's so tiny. You see that little caret? Okay, so since we all know that this row is all increasing, then it looks like the caret's pointing to the center of the circle means, and then the X on top of it means increasing. So that's my other thing about it. Like maybe they should have used a different symbol. But you understand what I'm saying? Like how would you be able to tell? Is it a bottom caret or a top caret? Especially on a circle. So my idea is if the caret is pointing to the line towards the center of the circle, it's increase. And then if it's a caret pointing to the line outside of the circle, away from the center, then that's a decrease. So it's having us increase. It looks like first one, skip the second one, third one, skip the fourth one, fifth one, skip the sixth one. So it looks like all the odd numbers we're going to increase. And out of that, we're supposed to have 18 stitches at the end. Okay, so let's do that. Now, what I want to say is we have this excess here that's just floating in the wind. We're not going to use this for anything. It's just to keep this circle nice and tight. So what I like to do that I've done in my previous videos, I'm just going to line this around the edge so that when I crochet, I can just crochet it inside so it gets tucked away eventually. So what we're going to do before we start our I'm gonna line this little excess piece. It's gonna go between the yarn that I'm pulling here and the loop that I'm putting here. Just laying that on the side. Next, I'm going to yarn over, pull up a chain like we did, and we're going to do this for every row before we start it, is pull up a chain. And now we can start our single crochet. Again, you can see that these two stitches look like they're pointing towards each other because we did the slip stitch. So our first stitch is right here. If you can see that right there. So I'm going to stick the needle in there, in the loop. I'm going to make sure that this excess piece is also resting on the hook because I'm going to tuck it away in this stitch. You want to yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over again and pull through 2. And we made our single crochet, but as stated in the instructions, our first stitch, we're going to be increasing it. So we'll stick it back into that same stitch, making sure that this excess yarn is still just chilling over there on the hook. Then we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over again and pull through 2. So now we have 2 stitches. 16 more to go. So like I said, it seems like every other from here on out. So let's go to the next stitch, do a single crochet. And then we're going to go to the next stitch and do a single crochet with the increasing stitch. So after you do your single crochet, you do your increasing stitch. Okay, then we're going to do the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to go into the next stitch and do a single crochet with an increasing stitch. Single crochet, and increasing stitch. Okay. Then we're going to do into the next stitch single crochet, next stitch single crochet with increasing stitch, then in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet, and then the next stitch after that we're going to do single crochet, increasing stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to do single crochet. My instructions are flying away from me. And then in the next stitch we're going to do the single crochet and increasing stitch. Seeing that excess yarn, it's slowly disappearing. Now this might happen with some yarns, you guys. Ooh, it looks like it's just wrapped around. You can get rid of it. Sometimes it's stuck. I've had that before. Sometimes the manufacturer has a little flaw in the yarn, but I was able to remove it. If that's the case, you can try trimming it, or you can just try tucking it like I am doing with the excess yarn. But yeah, so we have our single crochet, and then we got to do the increasing stitch. Okay, we should have 17. Let me see. Yep, and then we have one single crochet left right where the marker is. So you stick your needle in there, yarn over, stick your needle in there and pull through 2 loops. Remove your marker. So now we should have 18. Now you guys, if this is still kind of moving fast for you, feel free to pause it. I believe that there's a setting on YouTube where you can speed up the video or slow down the video. Of course, my voice will start sounding funny, but if you need to do that, by all means do that. Or if I'm actually moving too slow for you, can speed up and listen to me sound like a chipmunk. But anyway, so let's count back to 18 stitches and let's do this slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, nothing wrong with double checking. Sometimes you think you're counting, and after row, you kind of like zone out and realize maybe you're not counting the right stuff. So we're going to yarn over, pull through everything, and then we're going to take our needle and different colored yarn, and we're going to slip that through and put this through the last stitch we made and pull up all the way through, and we marked off our last stitch. So when you over time, this circle is going to want to warp. It's going to either want to curl in or curl out. You want to make sure that you have it curl out on the right side, so you can tell by seeing how pretty it is. So this would be the right side, like I mentioned before. It looks nice, and you can see the braid. The other side here is not so pretty side, and it's the wrong side. You want it to fold in on the wrong side and fold out on the right side. Okay. So now we can do row 4, and it looks like we have to do 22 stitches. So that's 4 more stitches that we have to increase, and it seems like, let's see, row 4, 1, 2. On the third one we increase 1, 2. Oh wow, it's different now. Alright, let's pull this up close. So we have 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. Okay, so the first 2 you increase on the third one, and then it's every third, after every third one you increase. Normally it's even Steven, but you know, depending on the count, it can't always be even. So let's do the 4th row. To do this, like I say, do your chain, yarn over, make a chain. Now we're going to start our single crochet. We're going to do 2 before we do our third and increase stitch. So, like I said, these 2 look like they want to merge because that's where we did our slip stitch. So it's this one that we're actually going to put our needle in, our crochet hook. And we're going to do our single crochet stitch. There you go. The next stitch over, single crochet stitch, and then on the third one we do our single crochet stitch, but we do the increasing stitch as well. So we'll do the single crochet and then we'll do the increasing stitch. So now after every third single crochet we're going to do the increasing stitch. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to stick it into the next stitch, single crochet, and increasing stitch. There we go. So let's do another 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 2, 3. On the next one, we're going to do the increasing stitch. So we're going to do another 3. 1, 2, 3, and in the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet and increase stitch. 1, 2, and then again we're going to do, let's see, did it have us do, oh, up here. Whoop. Okay. Let's count back. So I might be seeing something wrong already. Alright, so if we have 3, oh, we're not increasing on that stitch. Oh, okay. We increased on this, and then we do 3 single crochet stitches. Alright, I thought we were doing an increase at the end, but I'm wrong. So just 3 single crochet stitches left in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, remove the marker, and now we have our 22 stitches. So yeah, sometimes these instructions are confusing, but as long as you have your marker and you are counting the right number of stitches, it's kind of easy to find your way back. So I'm going to count 22 stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22. Yarn over and pull through all the loops. Okay, so we have our 22 stitches. So now for rows 5 through 9, that's a lot of them, we're just going to do 22 stitches. So that's going to be super easy to do. Let's put in our marker. Stick it into the last stitch we made. Pull it all the way through. Okay. Before we start our row, we have to chain 1. And now we're going to do 22 stitches. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Remove the marker. My instructions. Alright, count back to 22 and we'll do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22. And we're going to yarn over, pull through all loops, and that's row 5. So now for row 6, 7, 8, 9, we have 4 more rows of 22, you guys. I'm gonna put our marker in, and again, this might be the time if you can't catch up to it, take a pause. You can go back to the video, watch back anything you might have missed, or skip ahead if you've already done it. This is my spool of green yarn here. I normally don't have it pull from the outside. I like to pull from the inside, but I can't find the inside in this clump, so it rolls around all over the place. But that might be a separate video to show you how you can take the inside part out so that it doesn't roll around. Maybe I'll try that next time. Leave a comment below if you want me to try doing this with my reversed. If you're a left-handed person, I can use my left hand to crochet. But we're going to do row 6 now, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 22 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Move the marker. Okay, now we're just going to count backwards. 22 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So like I said before, you guys, after a certain while, your circle is going to want to start bending, and you just want to make sure that it's bending the right side out. Get the pretty side out, wrong side in. So we just did row 6. Let's mark off where we last put our stitch. Okay. Pull one side all the way through, and then we can do our row 7. Okay. So we are going to chain 1, and we're going to do 22 stitches again for row 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Move the marker. Okay. So now we can count back 22 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's mark off our last stitch. So now we can move on to row 8. Row 8, we'll do 22 stitches again. We're going to chain 1 and then do 22 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Remove the marker. Okay. So then you just count back 22 and we're going to do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then we're going to mark off where we left off, and we'll have one more row with 22 stitches, doing row 9. So before we start that, we've got to do our chain 1 And then we're going to do 22 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Remove the marker. Okay, so now we're going to count back 22 and we're going to slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, then we're going to take our marker. And then we're going to move on to row 10, and we have to do 24 stitches, so we're only increasing by 2. So let's try to find out where they want us to increase this. So we're going to look at row 10. So it looks right out the gate. The first one we're going to increase, then 1, 2. We're going to increase. Why do they have me doing that? We're going from 22 to 24 stitches. We're only increasing by 2. So row 10. First one, second one, third one. This just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh my gosh. Did you see what I just did, guys? I am like half asleep. I probably need to take a nap. So we're doing row 10 and I'm using this circle. I need to stop that. Ugh. Wow, you guys are probably like watching and be like, why is she on the next one? Alright. Promise you everything is gravy up so far. I was just looking at the wrong one because I am tired. But anyway, row 10, 24. This row 10, you guys. Let's find it right here. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 increase. 1, 2, 3, 4 increase. 1, 2, 3, 5 increase. We're still increasing though. We only have to increase by 2. Ay, ay, ay. Now, like, I'm questioning my whole life right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You see that, right? I'm not going out of my mind now. I didn't just screw this up on my own. We have 22 stitches. That's a fact. You just saw me count that how many times. This row 10, we need 24. And that's only 2 more. So you know that you have to increase twice at least. But look at this row 10. This is row 10 right here. We have 1, 2, 3 increase. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They definitely screwed up here. It's not just me, people. Oh, whoever made these instructions are just like toying with me at this point. So it's like, what do you go by? Do you go by the 24 or do you go by what's going on here? And that's funny because the arrows are pointing to the line, which means that this is a decrease, not an increase. So I have a feeling that they just screwed up somewhere. But what we're going to do, we're going to follow this. I only started following this maybe 3 videos in, so, and my animals ended up looking alright. So let's do row 10 now. We're going to do 24 stitches. So let's increase by 1 in the first stitch, and then we'll do like 11 stitches or 12 stitches, and we'll increase that 1, and then we'll go the rest of the way around because we're only increasing by 2. We only need to increase twice. This guy here clearly shows that we're decreasing, so they definitely messed up somewhere. So I'm legit gonna take a nap, and then I'll pick this back up. Maybe when I'm refreshed, maybe I'll see this differently, but I mean, I showed the zoom in and we're seeing the same things, so there definitely is something wrong about this illustration. So let's chain 1, and we're gonna do a single crochet. We're gonna increase, and then we're gonna do 12 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, increase, and then single crochet the rest of the way.
Okay.
So now we should have 24 stitches. We'll count back and do a slip stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're going to put a marker and move on to row 11. Okay, so let's do rows 11 through 12. We have to do 18, which means we have to subtract 6 stitches. So let's hope that row 11 looks like, yeah, they definitely messed up because rows 11 through 12, they didn't, there's no decreasing. So it looks like that row 10 has the decreasing symbols like we mentioned. So let's see what that says. 1, 2, 3 decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4 decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4 decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4 decrease, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're only decreasing by 4. Yikes. All right. Well, we have 24 stitches on here, and we got to get to 18. So how about that for you? Obviously, we have to decrease 6 times. So let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so let's just decrease every third one and see what happens. Yeah, so if anybody is doing the dinosaur, my condolences. Let's see if we can get this right. Chain 1. Let's do 2 single crochets. I hope I did this math right. 1, 2. Then we're going to decrease. Again, stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3. Okay? And we're going to do this every third one. So 1, 2, decrease stitch, 1, 2, decrease stitch, 1. Oh, I only went through 1 loop. Let's do that again. 1, 2, decrease stitch, 1, 2, let's decrease stitch, 1, 2, decrease stitch, and let's hope for the best. If not, we can always undo it. Remove the marker. Okay, so we should now have 18. Let's see now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Love it. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to mark this off. And so now for row 12, we have to have 18, and because we did all this to get to 18, we just have to do a single crochet in each stitch, so that's easy. So let's chain 1, and now let's do 18 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Remove the marker. Okay. So then we're going to count back 18 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, then I'm going to mark it. Okay, so now we're going to do row 13, which means we have to do 12 stitches. That's minus 6 again. Let's see if 13 actually tells you to decrease. And yes, it does. So decrease 1, decrease 2, decrease 3, decrease 4, decrease 5, decrease 6. So every other one. I'm skeptical. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does have you decrease 6, but there's actually only 12 stitches on here. All right, well, let's do that up till we decrease by 6, and then just single crochet the rest of the way. So we'll chain 1, and then it has us decreasing right away, so let's do the decreasing stitch. It's 1, single crochet, 2, decreasing stitch, 3, single crochet, 4, decreasing, 5, single crochet 6, decreasing 7, single crochet 8, decreasing 9, single crochet 10, decreasing 11. Oh, I guess it worked out. And one more, 12. So we got our 12. Move the marker. Let's count back 12 and slip stitch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I didn't trust that one. I probably should have. Okay. Let's mark this up. Oh no. So then our last row, the 14th row, we have to do, we have to end up with 6. So every stitch, we're going to do the decreasing stitch. So let's chain 1 and start this decreasing stitch 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's my alarm. And then we're gonna cut this yarn over, pull up a loop and tighten it. Well, pull it all the way through and tighten it. And we have our crocheted head. When we come back, we're going to move on to the crocheted body.